Okay. So revision class, I think it's 54. So this is your first question. And yes, like I have said, I'll recommend you to go through the papers, sample papers of last few years, at least 4 5 years, to dekh lena. And not for the sake of tomorrow's exam, but for the boards also. What I have seen is they are always asking the same type of questions, even if the language has changed. So you should specifically go through uh, database section and file handling. तो ये सब sections के questions को, even if the question is from the time when the paper was asked in C++, but the database section and this file handling के questions uh, will be common to both the languages. तो इसलिए उसको जाके एक बार देख लेना. Okay, and they are pretty much similar, very easy. Right. And also that layout questions, वो जो networking का questions है, last 4 5 years में they are always asking the same type कि where should be the server placed. A few more things. देखो, question में 2 3 चीज पूछते हैं, तो let me help you out uh, for networking based questions. First is कि connectivity and layout कैसा होगा? What will be the connectivity and layout? Most cases में till the time something specific is mentioned, like there should be one central wire through which all the computers should be connected, फिर वो bus topology हो जाएगा, तो उस तरह करके. But in general, I've not seen them giving you something specific. In general they ask connectivity layout, so it should be star topology. स्टार टोपोलॉजी होगा. हाँ, नेटवर्क क्वेश्चन से प्रोटोकॉल पूछे जाएंगे. So that's what I'll come to that. Yes, Anand, good morning. ठीक है. So if they ask connectivity and layout, तो वैसा बनाना. And you also have to draw the diagram. तो diagram में क्या करना है? Whichever will be the server, that server block, ठीक है, server block should be connected to all other blocks. Draw the wire from server block to all the other blocks, जितने भी block हो, सब block के तरफ wire निकाल देना. And this is nothing but the star topology, whereas the hub or the server is the center, और उसके बाद सारे तरफ wires निकल रहा है. ठीक है. Another type of questions they ask, तो दोनों बनाना है, स्टार भी लिखना और ये लेआउट भी ड्रॉ करना, both. Okay. Now next type of questions they ask is कि where shall server be placed? Server कहाँ होगा? Server placement. Which being should be server, not server placement. Or which building should be server? Which block will be server? तो उसमें जिसमें मैक्स कंप्यूटर्स हो. Okay. For the reasons of cost efficiency, रीजन पूछता नहीं है, फिर भी मैं बता दे रहा हूं. कॉस्ट एफिशिएंसी and proper traffic management, data traffic management. Okay. फिर generally they ask कि placement of switch and hubs. So if you remember, switch and hub are devices which works below the network layer. अगर OSI model याद करोगे तो they work below the network layer. That means they are always working in the internal network. Internal मतलब not internet, intranet within a building. Okay, so they will always be placed within network, within buildings, because they are not network level devices. Okay, so within buildings, or what is their use? To form a network by connecting all the computers within the building. To form a network by connecting computers. Okay, that means they are part of intranet. Local network form करता है ये. Okay, so why local network form? ये क्योंकि ये layer 2 पे काम करता है. Layer 1 and 2 पे these devices work. So they will use inside all the buildings, within all buildings, मतलब all. क्योंकि इसके बिना नेटवर्क ही नहीं बनेगा. सी हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू कनेक्ट दिस बिल्डिंग, यू आर गोइंग टू कनेक्ट टू दिस बिल्डिंग, दिस बिल्डिंग, दिस बिल्डिंग, सबको कनेक्ट करना है नेटवर्क में, बट इनसाइड ईच बिल्डिंग देयर आर सम कंप्यूटर्स, एंड द वे ऑफ कनेक्टिंग कंप्यूटर्स टू फॉर्म अ नेटवर्क इज आइदर थ्रू स्विच और हब. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि यू विल डायरेक्टली टेक और वो कनेक्ट कर दोगे कंप्यूटर को वायर से. टू फॉर्म अ नेटवर्क पी टू पी नहीं, मतलब जो नॉर्मल नेटवर्क, you always need either a switch or a hub. So each of the building will have switch or a hub for connecting this. Okay. Then what question they will ask is, तो अगर switch और hub बोल रहा है placement के लिए, तो they will be within buildings. Remember, within to form local networks. Okay. And placement of repeater. Repeater कहाँ लगेगा? Repeater is just to, मतलब कि अगर सिग्नल है उसको बूस्ट करना है. सो फ्रॉम वन बिल्डिंग टू अनदर, क्योंकि विद इन द बिल्डिंग तो दे आर कनेक्टेड टू स्विच और हब्स एंड दे आर वेरी शॉर्ट इन लेंथ, तो यू डोंट नीड रिपीटर्स. Okay, but when you repeater will be required when you are drawing out this network is to be connected to another building. So depending on the length of the wire between the buildings, you will require repeater to again regenerate the signal. And तो repeaters के लिए क्यों होता है? For regenerating signals. For regenerating signals, and those signals will be regenerated, and those repeaters will be required if distance, okay, if distance between the buildings is greater than 70 meters. Okay, so why I am taking this figure 70? Because see, depending on different books, you will come across different value. हो सकता है किसी book में 100 दिया हो या कुछ दिया हो. But what I have seen in the marking scheme and of all the previous years sample papers, board is considering the 70 as the you can say cut-off figure. कि मतलब अगर 70 से ज्यादा है, even at 70 they are not considering. So more than 70, अगर if the distance between two building is there and then you have to connect through wire, then in that case between in the wire you will have to put a repeater so that signal is regenerated and proper signal can reach to the building on the other side. ठीक है. So अगर दो building के बीच में, if between any two building, if the distance is more than 70 meters, then only you will place a repeater. Okay. Another type of question that can be asked is, कैंपस को वाईफाई बनाना है, कैंपस को वायरलेस बनाना, नॉट वाईफाई, वायरलेस। तो इसके लिए which device you will use? So they generally ask device and protocol. डिवाइस एंड प्रोटोकॉल क्या होगा? डिवाइस विल बी तुम्हारा, यू कैन राइट मेनी थिंग्स, वाईफाई, फुल फॉर्म याद रखना, वायरलेस फिडिलिटी होता है, दो इट इज नॉट करेक्ट बट दे आर टेकिंग दैट एज द आंसर, ओके, बिकॉज कुछ लोग मानते हैं कुछ लोग नहीं मानते हैं इसको, ओके। एंड देन विच प्रोटोकॉल विल बी यूज्ड? वाईफाई बोल सकते हो, वायरलेस राउटर ऑल्सो दे एक्सेप्ट, और प्रोटोकॉल में though in the marking scheme they have given they have mentioned all the protocols, but what actually should be there is WAP, or the rules which will be used to generate Wi-Fi signals will be wireless access protocol. Okay, you can also remember the number as per IEEE format, और वो सब जो होता है कुछ कुछ, तो उसमें कुछ उसका नंबर होगा 802 point something, तो remember the number also. एक बार मैंने लिस्ट दिया था कुछ, वो 802.5 802.10, सो उस सबका नंबर याद रखना, कोशिश करना बोर्ड के पहले, दो आई अगेन गिव यू अ सेपरेट लिस्ट कि कौन कौन सा टॉपिक तुम्हें बोर्ड में देख के जाना है, सॉर्ट ऑफ चेक लिस्ट आई गिव यू, बट स्टिल रिमेंबर द नंबर, ठीक है? IEEE ही बोलते हैं ना इसका, या शायद वही, ठीक है। सो जनरली इसी तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछते रहते हैं वो घुमा फिरा के, एंड अनदर टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन दैट दे आस्क इज कि connecting different campuses of the organization if they are in different states, they are uh, in different geographical locations. Okay, so they will be, अब उसमें से पूछेगा कि मैन वैन लैन में से कौन सा प्रॉपर होगा, सो हियर जनरली द आंसर इज वैन, बट अगर उन्होंने कुछ ऐसा दे दिया कि 50 किलोमीटर्स, तब वैन की जरूरत नहीं भी पड़ सकती है, यू कैन राइट मैन ऑल्सो, मेट्रोपॉलिटन एरिया नेटवर्क। बट जनरली जो क्वेश्चन देते हैं वो लोग, दे विल मेंशन डिस्टेंस एज 1200 kilometers, 1500 kilometers, that means they are 12-1500 kilometers is like from one state to मतलब दो तीन स्टेट दूर, 1200 kilometers is a very, very considerable distance. Okay, so in such cases they will be giving this, पर अगर उन्होंने 5 किलोमीटर दे दिया, 10 किलोमीटर दे दिया, 50, तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द डेफिनेशन कि लैन कितने किलोमीटर तक काम करेगा, वैन मैन कितने किलोमीटर तक काम करेगा, दे कैन ऑल्सो बी द आंसर, बट व्हाट आई बिलीव इज दे विल गिव ज्योग्राफिकल डिस्टेंस विच विल बी कंसिडरेबली अपार्ट, ज्योग्राफिकली अपार्ट, so that in that case most probably the answer will be वैन। और कोई क्वेश्चन पूछता है इसमें? शायद एक और था, इट स्लिप्ड आउट ऑफ माय माइंड, सो मोस्टली ये सारे ही टाइप होंगे क्वेश्चंस के। एक और था, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, चलो याद आएगा तो बता देंगे। एनीवेज इफ यू सी, हाँ, टाइप ऑफ चैनल या मीडिया, ठीक है, दे कैन आस्क बेस्ड ऑन कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस, स्पीड, ठीक है। तो सबसे कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव कौन सा होगा? बहुत सारे हैं, वायर्ड, अनवायर्ड है, ठीक है। एंड वायर्ड हो सकता है, वायर्ड में कौन सा होगा? जो भी है तुम्हारा, यू हैव डिफरेंट टाइप ना, तुम्हारा कौन कौन सा होता है उसमें? ऑप्टिकल फाइबर्स होता है, ट्विस्टेड पेयर होता है, देन यू हैव क्या कहते हैं उसको, ट्विस्टेड पेयर है, ऑप्टिकल फाइबर है, और उसको एक और होता है ना, आई एम फॉरगेटिंग दैट नेम, जिसमें वो दो कोटिंग होता है। एनीवेज, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस में, हाँ, कोएक्सियल केबल, करेक्ट, ठीक है। तो देख लो सबसे चीप कौन होगा उसमें से, ऑप्टिकल फाइबर होगा, ट्विस्टेड पेयर होगा। तो इसके कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस में पूछेगा तो ट्विस्टेड पेयर लिखोगे, स्पीड में लिखेगा तो कोएक्सियल लिखोगे, ठीक है। और क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है उसमें? दे में आस्क, हाँ, कि वायर्स को नेटवर्क्स में कैसे कनेक्ट करेंगे टू फॉर्म इंट्रानेट, इंट्रानेट फॉर्म करने के लिए। कोएक्सियल लिख दिया मैंने, अच्छा, आई वाज सेइंग ऑप्टिकल फाइबर लिख दिया, कोएक्सियल, आई एम सॉरी। बी, ओके, हाँ, ये क्या बता रहा था मैं? हाँ, कि कौन सा, अच्छा, एक एक दो बार ये भी पूछा है कि नंबर ऑफ वायर्स इन ट्विस्टेड पेयर, वो देख लेना। मार्किंग स्कीम में दिया हुआ है, दे आर राइटिंग टू, तो जस्ट लुक फॉर द नंबर ऑफ वायर्स इन ट्विस्टेड पेयर। मार्किंग स्कीम में देख लेना क्या लिखा है वो। फिर ये भी पूछा है कि कनेक्ट करने के लिए, इंटरनेट बनाने के लिए क्या यूज करते हैं? तो यू कैन यूज इथरनेट केबल, इथरनेट केबल, ठीक है। इसको लैन वायर बोलते हैं ना, उसका प्रॉपर नेम वो लोग इथरनेट केबल है। और इथरनेट पोर्ट, इथरनेट पोर्ट में इथरनेट केबल कनेक्ट होता है, ओके, फॉर लोकल एरिया नेटवर्क फॉर्मेशन और इंट्रानेट फॉर्मेशन, इंट्रानेट और लोकल एरिया नेटवर्क, ठीक है। तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि इससे ज्यादा वो कुछ पूछेंगे वेरिएशंस, इतने टाइप ही हैं, इसी में से एनी फाइव दे विल बी आस्किंग अगेन एंड अगेन, दे आर, आई हैव नोटिस कि दे आर आस्किंग ओनली दीज थिंग्स, ओके। तो ये देख लेना, you should not lose marks in these questions unnecessarily, every time you are, for some reason, you people are making mistakes here, okay, ठीक है। Is it clear? बढ़े आगे, shall we proceed to file handling questions? Okay, ठीक है। तो now we'll see कि I have already written the solutions, I'll just go through them. हाँ, the question is, just a minute, speaker got activated for some reason. हाँ, so the question is, the first question was, write a function in Python that connects, that counts the number of words, number of me and my words in a file story.txt. So what I have done is, I have already created a file story.txt, which looks like this. और कुछ random ले लिया है मैंने, doesn't make sense, ठीक है, कुछ कुछ लिख दिया है इसमें। So this is my file story.txt, और उसमें से the question says you have to find कि how many me or my words occur irrespective of capital M और small m, जितनी भी जगह me और my मिल रहा है वो तुम्हें काउंट करना है। So what you will do, words, जब भी words हो तो use split, ठीक है। तो first I have opened the file, because I have opened the file I have to close also, and in the middle I have to do all the processing, So first I have read the entire file in one go using read function, read method. Once I have read the entire content which is stored or captured in the form of a string in the variable labeled as data, फिर उस डेटा को मैंने स्प्लिट कर लिया. स्प्लिट करते ही क्या होगा? We remember that entire content of the file is split by default has a separator as space or backslash n. So जितने भी जगह space और backslash n वगैरह मिलेगा इसे, it will be or white spaces मिलेगा, it will tokenize it or it will break it into or it will be acting as partition point. So if I print words, you will see that entire file has been prepared in the form of, नहीं, not reading line by line, I am reading word by word. ठीक है? So split will go through the entire file. Entire file में जहां भी उसे space मिलेगा या line change मिलेगा, on the basis of that it will break it and form elements. तो देखो पहली बार my बन गया, उसके बाद स्पेस है तो स्पेस एक्ट्स एज अ कटिंग पॉइंट, सीजर लेके वहां से काट दिया तुमने, फिर स्पेस यहाँ पे ये भी कट गया, फिर बैकस्लैश एन दैट इज लाइन चेंज हियर, तो ये भी दिस आल्सो ब्रोक. So all such things are done and you will see that the entire file has been broken into words which have become string elements to the list. Okay, so and the words have been captured in the list words. Okay, this words is nothing but a list which is this thing. Okay, now I'll remove it because that is not required, printing the list. Then I have taken a counter which will count, which will be having the number of such words which is me or my. So there are generally two ways. इसको करने के दो तरीके हैं. Let me see. Okay. So once I have got the words here, which is a list of words of the string, which has been obtained using split, then I will filter out in each iteration one element of that string. Okay, and that will be word. So instead of I have taken it as word. Now every time from this list one element will be coming which will be one word of the file. So every time I get one word inside the block, I'll check if it is me or my or small me, lowercase me or lowercase my, in the or if that is the case, if the word happens to match either of these strings, then I'll increase the counter by 1. And at the end, by the time each of the word is iterated upon, the last value of C outside this for loop will give you the number of me and my in both upper and lower cases in the file. And if you execute it, you will get the answer. So have a look for 10 seconds or let me know if you have understood. Okay. Anand? Okay, take it. Right. Now another way to do the same thing is you instead of writing every time or ऐसे करके, you use membership operator and then membership operator will check whether word every time you are getting a word is a member of this list. That means is this word that is coming out every time, is it this one or this one? If it matches any of the four members of this list, then this will result in true, and the moment it results in true, the counter will be increased by 1. Okay, so बताओ, let me know all of you, is it fine? Either of the way you can do this. Okay. Either you use, ये थोड़ा लेंदी हो जाता है, membership operator just shortens it. Okay. लास्ट टाइम हमने देखा था वॉवेल्स को भी हमने ऐसे ही किया था लास्ट क्लास में. Okay. Now we'll see the next question. ये one of the questions था. Now next question. Next question is write a function. देखो इसमें भी every time they are asking you to write functions. तो but this question I have written normally. Function में तुम्हें उसे change करना है. How will you change it in a function? It's very simple. Everything you put inside def. Def, what was the name? अच्छा कोई स्पेसिफिक नेम नहीं दिया है फंक्शन पे. बी वेरी केयरफुल. एट टाइम्स दे मेंशन द नेम कि व्हाट नेम शुड बी चोजन फॉर द फंक्शन एंड एट टाइम दे लीव इट अप टू यू. So if they mention that, let's say for example in second question they have given you should take the name of the function like this. So in that case that name is fixed. Now here they have not mentioned, so you can take any name. Yeah. So here because they have not fixed, I'll give any name. Count the number of count occurrence. So I'll give as count anything. And entire thing will be the part of this function. सारे चीज को part बना दो उसका, body बना दो. Everything will be done inside the function, and you will call the function. In the exam, they are not expecting you to show this call part. They are only expecting you to write the function. जो function define करके वही दिखाने बोल रहा. However, even if you write this is not incorrect. Okay, but this is must. Function तो तुम्हें बना के दिखाना है. Even if you don't call it, you won't lose marks because they are expecting only the function from you. But if you even if you actually when you are executing the program, the function should be called. Okay, now see if you call this program, you will get the answer. Okay. Now, next question was एक function बनाना है whose name should be am count, which should read each character of the file. That means you have to do character by character reading and should count and display the occurrence of alphabets A and M. Okay. Here you don't have to read word by word. Here you have to read character by character. So character by character में we won't use split. ठीक है. We won't use split. We will directly use 8 9. हाँ यही वाला है. तो here उसका नाम am count बोला था ना. I'll take it as am count. Yeah. Let me check. Yeah, that is correct now. Okay. So am count एक function बनाया. When this function is called, it should print the number of A and it should read this entire file character by character, and it should return, or it should not return, it should print the number of A and M. So that can be small a and capital A both. So I'll write this small a or capital A or small m, that is lowercase m and uppercase m. In that case, if function call karoge, the function will open the file. Okay, the name of the file is this one, which I have already created. Okay, then you will read the entire data in one go. Here, because they have asked you to read character by character, you are not going to split it into words. So split use nahi karenge. I have taken A and M for counting the number of A's and number of M's in the files. And then this entire content of the file, which is in the form of a string in this variable labeled as data, which was generated by or which was returned by the read method, that I will, once the string is obtained, you can be string being iterable. Every time this ch will get one character of that string from the, which is nothing but the entire file. Okay, so every time one character will come. So ch will be first character. So you will check the moment you get a character, you will check if it is a or small upper lowercase a or uppercase a, then you will increase the count of a variable by 1. Or if it is lowercase m or smaller case uppercase m, character happens to be either of these, then you will increase the counter of variable m. Okay, इसको तुम ऐसे भी कर सकते थे. Elif भी लगा सकते थे, तो वो भी सही होता. Remember, it's not necessary that every if elif else structure में else हो ही. It is not necessary कि you should have else also every time. Okay, so even this will give you the correct answer. Either use if elif, because there is nothing, you don't have to do anything in else. You are only bothered about these two, A or M. So two conditions only. So you cannot use else. Why you cannot use else? Then it will count. A will have. Remember why you cannot use else here? Because if you use else, then A will contain the number of A's, and and M will contain the number of all other characters. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए elif use किया है मैंने, which will specify the number of m's only based on the condition in front of it, because in else you cannot specify the number of conditions, sorry, specify the condition. So here either you use if elif or use two separate ifs, up to you. Okay, and then outside this for, once you have iterated over all the characters in the string data, which is containing entire content of the file in the form of a string, which was returned by read method. Now, final value of a will contain number of all the a's in smaller and uppercase, and this may be and m will contain the number of lowercase and uppercase m's. Okay, finally you will close the file. Don't forget to close the file. Now tell me, is it clear? इसमें भी यहाँ पे तुम in ले सकते थे, like this, not here, like this. उसमें a or a list will be a small a upper a, and here will be another list in use करके, up to you. So is it clear? They ask very, very simple questions. Okay, Anant. Akhila understood. Okay, good. ठीक है. Now, just a minute. Huh. Now next question. Write a function in Python to count the number of lines in the file which is starting with an alphabet A. Number of lines which are starting, ये number of words नहीं बोल रहा है. Number of lines which are starting with alphabet A. ठीक है. उससे पहले एक चीज देख लेते हैं हम लोग. How do you read a file line by line? ठीक है. Read will read the entire content in one go. Read lines will give you the list of list. If you remember last class we discussed read lines. Let me see if I have it here. No, not this. Probably this one. No. हाँ, read lines. Read lines क्या कर रहा था? It will read and give you all the entire content in the form of a line, in the form of a list, wherein all the inner elements, that is, all the elements, that is, will be in the form of strings. So list of strings dega, where each of the element will be the sentence of the file from which you are reading in the form of a list. So read will read the entire content of the file and will give you one single string. Read lines will read the entire file and will return you a list containing strings where each of the string which is present as an element is one line of the file. It will also show \n. Now how will you, ये तो है कि सारे line को read कर लिया. You have read all the lines. Read will read the entire content and will return you in the form of a string. How will you read the file line by line using read lines? Read line. तो read line में क्या कर सकते हो? So what you will do is you run an infinite loop. Okay, you open a file. I'm just showing here reading a file line by line using read line. Read line method. So you run an infinite loop. While true will always be true, the condition will always be true. So it will always get inside the body. Now here what you will do is you will read the first line. First, every time you call this read line, it will read one line of the file. ठीक है, the first line is read, you will put it in the variable line. Okay, now you will check if there is some content in the file. That means the moment there is no further line to read, read line will return an empty string. Okay, so if the line which is read is not an empty string, that means some content was there in the line. There was one line which was in the file. So if that line does not happen to be an empty line, where in which case it will be matching this uh, empty string, then in that case you will read the line and you will not change the line. ठीक है, तो read line को read करोगे तो you will see that it has read all the line. I have suppressed this because one extra line will come, print का अपना, because when line is read, backslash n of the line is also read. Okay, every time. So it will automatically change the line, and if I don't suppress the line change default behavior of print, then one extra line will be inserted in the output. तो इसलिए मैंने यहाँ end को suppress कर दिया. ठीक है? So and the moment all the lines are read, till the time you will be getting line, this line will not be empty string. So every time it will get inside, it will fetch one line, and line won't be empty, so it will print the line. Once the line reading has been, all the lines have been read, reading process is complete, no further line to read, then this line will become, this read line will return in this line variable an empty string, in which case it will go to else block and it will break. ठीक है, break हो जाएगा, and then you will come out, and by that time you would have printed all the lines. So ये बताओ कि रीड लाइन के थ्रू कैसे हम लोग लाइन को रीड करेंगे, ये क्लियर है या नहीं है? लाइन बाय लाइन. रीडिंग लाइन बाय लाइन यूजिंग रीड लाइन्स, ये भी दिखा देते हैं. दिस इज मोर सिंपलर. रीड लाइन्स, I'll print just a minute. I'll print one separator. Everything will be same. Vishnu Priya, you're getting? ये मैं read lines से line by line read कर रहा हूँ. What I had done is using read line, I was reading line by line. Here using read lines, I will read all the line. So read lines will read all the lines and will generate one list which will be lines. So now how we will read line by line? यहाँ पे use कर लो for line in lines. Okay. So every time one element of this list lines will be given, which will be nothing but a line itself. So you will directly print line. So ये भी तुमको read कर देगा. So but yes, because backslash n is also line changing line, and print is also changing line, so you are getting extra line, so you can suppress end. ठीक है, यहां तक रीड लाइन से रीड लाइन किए थे. रुको इसको और क्लियर बना देते हैं. See, so you will see that first part of the this output is obtained by using read line. ठीक है, and this part is obtained by using read lines. तो दोनों से हमने यहाँ पे करके देख लिया. ठीक है, so just showed you, no purpose specifically, so that it might come in handy. No, you never know कि कोई क्वेश्चन में अगर इस तरह से बन जाए इजीली तो ऐसे बना लेना है, या if you prefer this way you can go this way. up to you. But yes, वो read use करके line by line is doing is tough. Yes, Vishnupriya, I'll do it. In fact, Priyanka asked me, so I didn't see the message. I keep forgetting, but I'll do it today. Okay. After this, I have class 11, maybe, so by 9:30 or 10, I'll upload it. If I forget, remind me. Okay. So this is how you do. Now coming back to the question. Write a function in Python to count the number of lines in text file starting with alphabet A. Now here you have to find not number of words starting with A. You have to find number of lines starting with A. Okay. So what you will do is line by line वाला approach देखेंगे इसमें. Where is it? Reading. Where did that go? हाँ, number of lines starting with A. देखो इसमें. So what you will do? Either you do this or यहाँ पे function का नाम नहीं दिया है, so I have taken my own name. Why do you need to use read lines and then split? Split should be used when you are using word approach. जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा उसका. See, I'll try to 18 ना. First I'll show you using read lines. चलो पहले read line से देख लेते हैं. So we know that कि read line वाले approach में we used ये और बीच में whatever you have to do the processing. Okay, and when this line is not do the processing, and when the moment this line becomes empty, that means returns empty string, you should break. ये हमने देखा था. So if till the time you are getting a valid line, that means when there is some line. Okay, when there is some line. नहीं Anand, you are getting question समझे नहीं तुम. You have understood it wrong. It's not telling you to start to count the number of words. If you meant how to read the words starting with A, then your approach is correct. But here the line is starting with A. यहाँ पे बोल रहा है कि line is starting with A बोल रहा है, each line. So what you will do is you will read line, keep on reading line infinitely till the time you get an empty line. So first line I read. This line, if this line is non-empty, that means if there is a valid line, I'll check that if, and this line is nothing but a string. So I'll check that the very first character of this string, which is line, is that is line 0 is equals to A, string A, double equals to A or small a. Then I will increase that, I'll increase the counter by 1, which will be keeping track of number of such lines where in the 0th index or the first character is small a or capital A. ये बताओ, is it clear? Is this question clear? Question and answer both. We can also do it using that may be simpler. इसको हम लोग नॉर्मल भी कर सकते हैं. Let's say program. How you will do it in normal? इसमें हम लोग क्या करेंगे? We'll use lines वाले approach. Read lines is equals to f dot read lines, and then for use कर लेंगे for line in lines, and then we'll use the same condition. This will appear maybe more simple. You will get three lines ऐसे हैं. इसमें भी देखोगे आंसर तुम्हारा 3 ही आएगा. ठीक है. So ये देखो, इसमें हमने रीड लाइंस के बेसिस पे लाइन बाय लाइन रीड किया, इसमें रीड लाइन के बेसिस पे लाइन बाय लाइन रीड किया. सो टेल मी बोथ द अप्रोच if it is clear. Here every time lines list will give you one line which is in the form of a string. So that line 0 is equals to, well, the first character of that line is A, or capital A, that is uppercase A or lower case A. On the basis of that, you are increasing the counter. So final value of C outside for loop will give you number of characters, a number of lines starting with A. Clear? हाँ, full stop के बाद तो line change होगा ना. It's not on the basis of full stop. It's on lines of file means one line each, not on the basis of full stop. Whenever the question they are saying lines, they are not meaning sentences. You are confusing between the two words. One line can have two sentences, one line can have one sentence, but they are meaning in terms of don't confuse lines with sentences. ठीक है. जब sentence बोलेगा, then you can use full stop as a separator. Split में ना, just go through split करके उसको split में when you are not writing anything, किधर गया, स्प्लिट में अगर डिफॉल्ट तुम्हें चेंज करना है, देन यू राइट डॉट. ठीक है. तो दैट मीन्स दैट नाउ सेंटेंस के बेसिस पे होगा, जहां जहां फुल स्टॉप मिलेगा उसको उसके उसके बेसिस पे वर्ड विल द कंटेंट विल बी ब्रोकन अप, देन इट विल बी इन फॉर्म ऑफ सेंटेंसेस. क्लियर है? ओके, ठीक है. जस्ट लेट मी क्लोज ऑल द फाइल्स. Now we'll see next question. Question 12. Number of lines starting with A देख लिया है. Now this is write a method of function display words. इस पे भी नाम दे दिया है, so you cannot take any function on your own name. Be very careful in the exam. If the name is given, don't assume it any other thing. Even if your program is correct but you have not followed this instruction, you may lose 1 marks or more than 1 marks, depends on the examiner. So display words in Python and read lines from a text file and display those words which are less than 4 characters. तो इसको दो तरीके से कर सकते हैं. Either you read line by line or you use word by word. तो चलो दोनों तरीके से देखेंगे हम लोग इसको. Less than 4 characters. Okay. तो less than 4 characters बोल रहा है. Let me see if I have solved it somewhere. नो, चलो बना लेंगे, अभी बना लेंगे उसको. हाँ, सो ओके. Now, so what you have done is display the words which are or lines or words which are less than 4 characters, number of words which are less than 4 characters. So what we will do is we'll read the entire content, we'll split it up in the form of a list wherein each individual element of the list will be word. Okay, in the list words, we'll keep a variable c is equals to 0 for counting such words which are of the length less than 4. Then we'll iterate through the list words wherein each element will be given one by one in the variable word, which will be nothing but the word of a one word of a file. So starting from the first word itself, you will see if the length of that word happens to be less than 4, then you will increase the counter by 1. ठीक है. तो this is, चलो यही मेथड देखते हैं. That should be enough. This is the simplest way, though you can try but I'll go with the basics so that you know at least one method to solve the problem. Is it clear? You have you have formed a list which is containing each word as separate element of the file, and then you are iterating over that list, wherein every time you will, in each iteration, variable word will contain one word from the list words, and every time you are getting a new word, you will check whether the length of that word is less than 4. If it is less than 4, you will increase the counter of C by 1. By the time all the this entire list is iterated upon, the last value that you will be getting in the C outside this for loop will be your number of such words. ठीक है, तो इसको प्रिंट कर लेंगे. So in this file story.txt, you have 4 such words. Okay, you have, what happened? Just a minute. You have 4 such words. Sorry, 21 such words which are less than 4 characters. ठीक है, ये क्लियर है कि how we did it? देखो एक बार और बताओ. Everyone. Okay, प्रशांत समझ में आ रहा है? Okay, so can you please take, it's difficult to open, takes time to, अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, I'll do that. Now, if it is clear, I'll go on to the next question. Display words भी हमने देख लिया. Now, next question is, write a function revtext to read text file and print only words starting with I in reverse order. That means अगर जो भी content है file का, उस content को read करो, and then continuous fashion में you have to show all the words of the file, but the thing is the words which are starting with I should only be reversed, rest of the words should not be reversed. ठीक है, तो देखो उसको कैसे बनाएंगे. Very simple. I'll read the file. नहीं नहीं, ये वाला फाइल नहीं, 13 था ना. Where did I solve that? Not this one. हाँ, ये वाला. So you will see function का नाम दिया हुआ है, so I'll not change the name. I'll not take on my own. I'll use rev text. I have opened the file in read mode. I'm reading the entire content, and that entire content in the form of a string is stored in the variable data. ठीक है, फिर data को split किया हमने. We have obtained the list of words of that file. Every time I'm getting a new word, by iterating upon the words list, I'll check if that word happens to be, the first character of the word happens to be I or small I, uppercase I or lowercase I will print the reverse of the word. Reverse of the word देख रहे हो कैसे कर रहे हो? तुम reverse का वो छोटा प्रोग्राम भी लिख सकते हो, but this will be shorter. ठीक है, reverse of the word, and I'll not change line, but I will uh, at the end of each word I'll put one space. ठीक है, end में space दे दिया. This is not empty string. Okay, and then if that word does not start with I will simply print the word in its original form. So by the time each of the word is iterated upon from this list words, it will print the word either in the reverse form or the natural form, separated by space, depending on whether the word starts with I, uppercase I or lowercase I, in which the case the word will be printed in reverse order. तो इसका आउटपुट देखोगे तो कुछ ऐसा आएगा. ठीक है, माई फर्स्ट बुक वॉज मी एंड फैमिली. इट के जगह Up to you. Yes, that is also possible. That is also possible. Correct. So Anant, that is also correct. What Anant is suggesting कि कुछ ऐसा कर देगा वो ऊपर में एक str is s is equals to empty string ले लेगा and then sorry, what he'll be doing is s is equals to s plus word colon minus 1 plus here, or this in this case he'll do this, and outside the loop you will print s. That will also give you the same thing. ठीक है, कुछ तो डिफरेंस लग रहा है मुझे. आई एम नॉट श्योर कि वो से हाँ ठीक है, नो डिफरेंस. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज कि you are printing it and here you have stored it in that form and then printing it. ठीक है, तो up to you. Anand, I hope you meant this only. Okay, so जैसा सही लगे तुम लोग. देखो ये दोनों अप्रोच क्लियर है या नहीं है? टेल लेट मी नो. Delete this. I'll keep only one form, or rather I'll not delete. I'll create another file. Um, okay, so both the solutions I have given. Okay, ठीक है, चलो ये भी समझ गए हो. So next file will be your input.txt हो गया. So we have done this. This one, देखो ये C++ वाले एरा का था, but I have just ignored the word C++ और उसको मैंने Python कर दिया. So write a function write a function in Python to count the number of lowercase alphabets present in text file book.txt. अब ये देखो how we will do it. Just give me a minute. Let me have some water. Okay. So now अब ये बताओ कि इसमें क्या करना चाहिए. नंबर ऑफ लोअर केस अल्फाबेट्स प्रेजेंट इन टेक्स्ट. तो लोअर केस में दो तरीके से चेक कर सकते हैं. देयर आर टू वेज, आइदर थ्रू ASCII वैल्यू और थ्रू द मेथड इज लोअर. ठीक है, सो विल सी 16 and 15. तो obtain the word नहीं number of lower case alphabets. So why you will obtain the word? You will obtain characters only. पूरा डेटा को रीड कर लो and then that string only one by one every time one character will be given in I. ठीक है, so I will be, चलो इसको let's make it more meaningful. If that character every time I get one character from the string, okay, which is in the original form, the entire content. Okay, every time I get a character, I'll check if it is lower or not. This one is in lower case or not. If it is in lower case, it will result in true, and then it should match in true. Then we will increase the count by 1. And by the time all the characters you have read one by one, you will see that the total number of lowercase characters are counted. So इसको run कर लोगे तो number of lowercase characters is equals to 120. One thing to note here is कि instead of writing is lower is equals to true, you can directly write is lower. Why? Because this itself will return true or false. ठीक है, तो उसको दोबारा इक्वल्स टू ट्रू मैच करवाने की जरूरत नहीं है. इफ दिस रिजल्ट्स ट्रू, इफ विल फाइंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ इट ट्रू, इट विल गेट इनसाइड, और इट विल फाइंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ इट फॉल्स, इट विल गेट इनसाइड. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग दिस कि ये ट्रू इज इक्वल डबल इक्वल्स टू ट्रू फिर ये ट्रू बनेगा, तो यू कैन सेव दैट वर्क बाय राइटिंग ओनली द फर्स्ट पार्ट डॉट इज इक्वल्स टू ट्रू. ये भी लिख सकते हो, इट इज ऑल्सो नॉट इनकरेक्ट. ठीक है, बट दिस इज बेटर वे. Directly ये लिखो, this itself will return in true or false. If it is true, it will get inside. If it is false, it will not get inside. ये बताओ समझ में आया या नहीं आया? Let me know. I'll take hardly 5 more minutes. Prashant, is it clear? Shall I go to the next question? Yes, Anant. बताओ मुझे. I'm not sure कि if you are able to listen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, good. तो एक और है. One second approach is also there. You can check the ASCII value also using ORD. If the ORD of that character happens to be greater than equals to 97 and less than equals to 122, then also you can increase the counter by 1, in which case you will be sure that the character is a lowercase character. ठीक है. पाइथन में ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो. एंड को हटा के तुम जैसे मैथमेटिक्स में लिखते हो, तो दिस पोर्शन कैन बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय दिस शेडेड एरिया. ये वाला पोर्शन को इससे भी रिप्लेस कर सकते हो. ओके, but this is also equally correct. Okay, is it fine? चलो देखते हैं next one. Now this one ये नहीं देखा है, ये देख लिया हमने. Yeah. और कौन था? Right. So we have seen this also. लोअर केस वाला भी देख लिया है, ये भी देख लिया है. लोअर केस डन. आई वाले को रिवर्स करना है, ये भी देख लिए हैं. अच्छा, हैव एडेड ट्वाइस. ओके ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. नाउ coming to this question, I have not solved it, पर तुम लोग मेरे ख्याल से कर लोगे. Write a user defined function count that will read the text file report.txt and display and count the number of lines that start either with I or M. That is similar to the first one जो हमने एक शुरू में देखा था. उसमें बस you will add one more or condition. We had done one file ना. Not this. Number of lines starting with A, तो यहां पे एक और भी लगा दोगे. ठीक है, और यहाँ पे I कर दोगे और line 0 is equals to M, या इन वाले अप्रोच से भी कर सकते हो. So that's why I have not solved it, because it is similar nature. Okay. Now, is it clear? I hope I don't have to do this again. Okay. Last question. Write a function count my in Python to read text file data.txt and count the number of times my occurs in the file. Do I need to solve this? Here you will break word by word. ठीक है, word by word में break करके and देखोगे every time if that word happens to be my, you will increase that counter. Let me see which question was it. यहाँ पे बस my लिख दोगे. If word is equals to my or if word is equals to my, increase the counter. That is the only thing. देख लो रिपीट होता है. These are the 4, 5 और 7 टाइप सी के क्वेश्चंस हैं जो रिपीट हो रहे हैं. सो यू कैन कंसिडर कि ये पेपर आउट है. ठीक है, इसी में से कोई एक वेरिएशन सिमिलर समथिंग विल कम. क्लियर? So what I have done is I have helped you revise all the questions of previous sample papers, somewhere around 7 to 8 questions. 8 questions. ठीक है. Or we have also seen how to handle that network question. I think या file handling में doubt नहीं होना चाहिए. Don't make mistakes in CSV files, in this pickle वाला, ठीक है, and in this file handling. ये questions 13 से 15 marks तुम्हारे pocket में है. Don't lose it. Right? अच्छा, CSV file. अच्छा ये बताओ, CSV file में when you read a file, what is the data type of that file? Prashant, what do you think? When you read each record, what is the data type of that record? Every time you read a record, it is returned in which data type? Anyone? Anand? Vishnupriya, Akhila? When you read any record from a CSV file, it is in which data type? That red record is in which data type? Anand, you are asking me. वो list है होता है क्या? बहुत खराब हाल है यार, ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है, पढ़ो, फाइंड करो. Just be very careful. Revise properly. You know. Okay. We'll stop here.